Welcome back. This is the fourth installment of the 1988 supplemental set opening. So we've done 4 videos. Well, this will be the 4th one. And today we have baseball's best, sluggers versus pitchers. And we have baseball's exciting stars. So we've been kind of looking at these and just seeing what's in them. If you haven't seen any of the other videos, feel free to check those out. This is just one of those weird oddball sets that they made back in the heyday of the junk wax era that I don't think everybody knew how many they made. And in 1988, they made 10 of them, which I thought was pretty prolific. That's a lot of sets, a lot of cards. And like we found out, most of them are the same players. There's a little bit of variety, but it's mostly the same cast of characters with 1 or 2 surprise cameos here and there. But let's get started and check one of these out. Let's see. So far, the card design has been kind of lackluster. There's not really been a lot of beauty in these sets for the most part. And I did look at the PSA numbers on these 2 boxes just to see if there was anybody who was particularly rare in a PSA 10. So if you PC or you collect a certain player and maybe you want to put it in your graded Gem Mint 10 collection, you would have that opportunity. Let's see. And my camera angle is just a little bit off here today, so I'm going to be a little bit to the right of the screen here. All right, so Todd Worrell. We got Dave Winfield, Frank Tiana, Greg Swindell, Strawberry, I think this is the one. Yeah, is this it? Yeah, it's one. There's only one PSA 10 of Darryl Strawberry. Let's see, I don't think this guy will be a competitor. He's a little off center. He's got a little chipping going on. I think it's this coloration around the edges. Instead of having a white border, having the color all the way up to the border and then putting them as in these small boxes for 30 years has probably done a number on most of them. The very kind and encouraging Dave Stewart. He looks very cross with somebody. Seitzer, Scott, Schmidt, everybody's personal favorite. There's 9 PSA 10s of Mike Schmidt. Chris Sabo, looking like a goofball. Those glasses and cork bat. I don't know. He might be okay. I've heard he's not a bad guy. Kind of a cool Cal Ripken. I think this is our second Cal Ripken. No, this is our third. This is our third Cal Ripken in the series that we've seen. Rigetti, Jeff Reardon, Johnny Ray making his first appearance, Puckett. The photography on this is much better. Ken Phelps. Cool. Dale Murphy. Mark McGuire. You know what? I've actually seen this before, and I thought it was a cool one. It looks like they're playing in Anaheim. Or maybe Oakland, I don't know. But it looks like Big Mac's looking at his handiwork there. How many McGuires are there? There's only two PSA 10s on McGuire. Mattingly. There's 4 PSA 10s on Mattingly. Mike Lavalier. Dave LaPointe. Mark Langston. Doug Jennings. That's a surprise cameo. We haven't seen him. Danny Jackson. Pete Incaviglia, we haven't seen him. Teddy Higuera, we've seen almost every set. Oral Hershiser, almost every set. Tony Gwynn, the late great Tony Gwynn. Let's see. There are 9 PSA 10s. It's a good looking card. Pedro Guerrero. It's pretty cool. Doc Gooden. How many Goodens? There's 2 PSA 10s. Again, these are all off center. Andres Galarraga and Dennis Eckersley and Andre Dawson. There are 2 PSA 10 Andre Dawsons. Eric Davis, There are... I didn't cite Davis. I guess I didn't. I did him dirty. Clemens, there's 8 PSA 10s. He's a pretty popular dude. Not a bad pose. Will Clark, looking like he's dealing with the mundane and the public. There's 8 PSA 10s of Will Clark. Joe Carter. Canseco, there's a nice Canseco. Doing Canseco things instead of looking bummed out and over or hungover. Let's see. Yeah, there's 3 PSA 10s on this one. Oh, that's pretty clean. Take a look at it. I'm not looking to grade or anything, but I'm not against having a 1 of 3 or 1 of 4 pop. Let's see, Ellis Burks. I think that's his first appearance. Tom Bernansky. Bobby Bowe. It's a pretty nice pose. Look at that. Getting paid. Wade Boggs. Boggs, there's only 1 PSA 10 in this set. This won't be one. He's like mighty off. He's mighty off center there. And then George Bell. Well, that's not the most offensive design we've seen. That's surprisingly livable. All right, so that's baseball's best. Set that up here. All right, let's take a look at this. This is the Exciting Stars of 1988. Let's see what's doing. I haven't looked at any of the things online about these other than pop reports, just because, I mean, this is about as much interest as I have, is just to open them and see what they are. I don't think they're that substantial historically, but again, people have been seeing these goofy cards floating around for years. Here, let's move this. It's kind of confusing everything. There we go. That's another hideous design. Oh, well. All right. There's Devon White, Fernando Valenzuela. And at some point in this box's history, it got smashed on the corner, so everything's pretty much just bumped. Alan Trammell. There's 12 Trammels in a 10. Tartable. Rick Sutcliffe. Daryl Strawberry. What's Strawberry up to? Oh yeah, there's 14 PSA 10s on this one, so that one got graded a lot. Ruben Sierra. I didn't put Sierra on the list. Larry Sheets. Seitzer. Mike Scott. Mike Schmidt. Again, looking stern. Looking like a disapproving fatherly figure. Either, let's see, what do they got with Schmidt? There's 21 PSA 10s. So, if you need a PSA 10, they're out there. Benito Santiago. Ryan Sandberg. There's 10 PSA 10s on Sandberg. Rock Reigns. Kirby Puckett. And there's 9 PSA 10 Pucketts. Matt Noakes. Dale Murphy showing us his jugular. There's 9 of those in a PSA 10. Jack Morris. McGuire. That's pretty cool. Typical. That looks like the same photograph from the same time period from the last photograph from the last set. There's the Angels ball boy there. Looks like probably the same game, just a different exposure. There is 10 PSA 10 McGuire's, and then Mattingly, there's 8 of them. It's pretty decent looking Mattingly. Jimmy Key. Joyner, looking plaintive and somewhat anxious. It's giving me anxiety. Looks like you saw a monster or something in the crowd. Brooke Jacoby. Teddy Aguirre again. Oral Hershiser taking BP, or bunting practice as he knows it. Henke. Ron Hayes. Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn. That's not a bad looking card. There are 8 PSA 10s like Tony Gwynn. Mike Greenwell. Doc Gooden again. There's 9 PSA 10s. Julio Franco. Dawson. 4 PSA 10s. So the pops are pretty small, but I mean, I don't know who's buying this stuff. And unless you just PC these guys, you know, if you're a big collector. Look at this. This is probably why they're hard to get in good condition. Roger Clemens. What's Clemens about? 6 PSA 10s. Clark's got 13 PSA 10s, so he gets graded a lot. I wonder why. Jack Clark. Canseco. Pretty cool. Not a bad looking Canseco. He's got 3 PSA 10s. But this won't be the 4th because it's all beat up. Sid Bream, right? Yeah, Sid Bream. Mickey Brantley. And Wade Boggs. Checking the signs. Or just Mad Dog and the photographer, either way. 3 PSA 10s. George Bell. Kevin Bass. And everyone's favorite, Harold Baines. So that's about it. Not too shabby. I mean, again, pretty lackluster design, but this is kind of, I don't know, just middle of the road. Kind of a cop-out. This is a bold statement. This like kind of virulent green and fluorescent yellow. In the jungle, this would tell you it's poisonous. And this just looks like, I don't know, just generic, kind of red, white, and blue patriotic. Here, let's look at the backs. I keep forgetting to check the backs. Typical Fleer back. Looks like Fleer. Fleer always looks like Fleer, huh? Oh, they switched it up. Look at that one. That's kind of cool. They put the team logos in a watermark. Pretty fancy. Wow. All right. Not too bad. They went all the way on that one. The bright yellow. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. So that's our 4th installment. We'll have one more where we open the last 2. Oop, wrong focus. The last 2 offerings. These goofy boxes over here. And then we'll have opened all 10 of the 1988 Fleer gimmick. Baseball is hot. Let's make as much of this stuff as possible and distribute it everywhere sets. So anyway, thanks for checking it out. See you next time.